Hi there. I am enjoying a beautiful day. Not feeling my best today, but I'm certainly not feeling my worst. And it's really good to, no matter what kind of day I'm feeling like, to feel like I know who I am. And I was just in my other room, just folding up, putting away my laundry. And, those are the times when the quiet voice likes to speak when you are kind of in this third space mentally. You're doing a thing, but there's still like so much spaciousness in your mind to be doing other things subconsciously, which you're always doing, but that's when they have space to surface. When you're like in the shower, when you're driving, when you're folding laundry. And so, oh, it just gave me a thought right then. Is that when you might not be feeling like it's your best day, but you also realize it isn't your last day or your worst day. Um, and maybe you feel stuck and you don't know what to do. Maybe you find yourself, on the floor crying or numb in a pile of your own mess. You know, maybe you know somebody who's been there. Uh, but in that moment, you also find yourself really present. If you're on the floor, whatever your proverbial rock bottom is, there's something really special about being there and saying, well, you know, this is where I am. Before that moment of whatever your rock bottom is or your floor pile of old laundry is, before you got there, you were scrapping, you were reaching, you were striving, you were struggling, you were doing whatever you could to not keep sliding down, to not hit that rock bottom. And whoop, you're there. But once you're there, there's no place else to go except either to stay there, which ends up being really boring, or to go up. And so when you're there on your floor, maybe you start noticing that there's little dust balls in the corner. If you don't know what else to do, you can maybe pick them up and throw them away. Maybe while you're there reaching for something to snot your nose into, it's a dirty sock. Next to it is another and another. And then maybe you can just kind of like, while you're sitting there thinking, allowing your subconscious to kind of do its thing in that special space, you could make a pile of them. And even if you don't know what to do, you can still put that pile in a bag and grab some detergent. Just leave them at the door for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wake up and you go to the bathroom and you look in the mirror and you sigh, before you even have that negative thought about yourself, just go on ahead and grab your toothbrush. Just while you're there, and the toothpaste, and feel successful that you have a hand for each. If you have a hand for each, and if you don't, then good for you. You did it anyway somehow. It's not what I was going to talk about. But I guess it is what I was going to talk about because that's what came out. Really, what I thought I was going to talk about is how there's just such an ideal about detachment, like even when you really love things, don't love them too hard, you know, they're always going to leave, they're always going to change. They don't stay that way. You love your baby. Oh, and then your baby grows up. Like you still love who they are, but they're not gonna fit in the bassinet the same cute way. Um, you like your partner's perky whatever. Gravity's gonna get to that over time. Um, People go through things and the things you love about their personality may change, even if just for an instant. And you're like, oh, they do have the capacity to be something different than what I'm used to them being. So yeah, you can't hold on to any of that. So we're supposed to practice detachment, just kind of like not hooking into anything, not getting too excited about anything. But it's just, it feels like a slippery slope, right? Like it's a really fine line between detachment and straight up disassociation. There is a really fine line between just allowing and accepting and just straight up depression, giving up. Um, it can look the same because that line is so fine. But I just kept thinking to myself, why is that important? Why am I thinking about this as I, hang up my dresses and my skirts and put away my socks and stuff? Um, like, where does the line, what makes it one side or the other? And I got an answer right away. And the answer is faith. That line is faith. That is a thread, that tightrope that you walk. That, I know the things that I want are out there for me in the future, even though I don't have them yet. Like, it could be delusion. It could straight up be delusion. Um, but if you're on that fine line of faith, that feeling will lead to other things. It will lead to you searching for the next step in achieving your heart's desire, whatever that is. Whereas deluluness will just kind of leave you stuck in spiraling thinking around that same thing. Um, so, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, that detachment and disassociation are not two sides of the same coin and are not the same things. One has a magic sauce, and that is the knowingness, the connection to the great I am, to understanding that you are a child of the king of the entire universe, and that this world is your inheritance, right? Like, you see somebody screaming out on the street with only half of their clothes on and totally inappropriately timed, then that's Delulu. But when you see somebody stepping into their power saying that, you realize that it's their faith in action. And so faith without works, faith without works are dead. But what are works without faith? Delusion. Yeah. So that's the key. I love you. Be blessed. Think about that as much as I'm going to think about it, because it literally just came to me as well. So this is new information for both of us. Um, you are loved. I was praying for you, and I know other people were praying for you. And I'm getting back into my weirdly specific prayers. So let me know if there's one that you want me to add onto the list so I can pray very specifically for you. But if not, you can pretty much know that you're covered. There's 8 billion people out here, and I hope at least half of us are praying in some form or another. And so you're probably covered. You're definitely covered because, we already know Jesus is praying for you, and Gandhi's soul and spirit, and probably Mother Teresa, and, all the swamis. And yeah, yeah.